All right, guys, welcome back to the Z Ice Show with your host, Z Ice. Today, I've planned an awesome episode today with Dr. Dev. Welcome. I'm so happy
Thank,
I could have you on the podcast.
thanks for having me. I appreciate you asking.
Yeah, all right, so to begin, what business are you in and what do you do?
Well, I guess you could say I'm an entrepreneur. I have a chiropractic office for the past 26 years. I am also invested in a couple of other chiropractic offices. My husband and I, also own an anti-aging company, and we're about to open our second in the next few weeks.
Awesome. Well, there's a little bit about you. So what inspired you to start these businesses?
So it goes way back to when I was a kid. My uncle was the first chiropractor in my family, and he adjusted me from the day I was born. I was adjusted my entire life, raised in a healthy way that most people aren't exposed to. And so as I got a little older and I got into college and I was going for athletic training, really into health and wellness and fitness and all of that, my brother went to chiropractic school and we would talk every week, at least once a week. And he loved school. He loved chiropractic. And the more he exposed me to the experiences he was having, I was like, that's it. I'm going to chiropractic school. And then I convinced my now husband to become a chiropractor also. He was getting adjusted by my uncle when he was 12 years old. So we've been together since high school. The two of us went to chiropractic school together. And my uncle ran his own chiropractic office my whole life. So that's all I saw. That's what I saw as normal. So for me, it just seemed like a no-brainer. Not all chiropractors own their own practice. A lot do, but many don't. So for me, it was just a no-brainer. You become a chiropractor and you just open your own practice. So my husband, Dr. Joe Clarino, and we've been doing that for 26 years together, and all of the things we've learned, all the bumps and bruises we've been through. My husband got sick years ago, and that led us down a path of understanding how to integrate functional medicine into the practice, where before we were straight chiropractic. And when we integrated functional medicine, we really started to see, well, first of all, we got him better by utilizing the tools that we learned in functional medicine. But we would go back to our office and we would look people a little bit differently, understanding why they may not have, some of them, had been responding to the chiropractic adjustment. And what we came to realize is that people are really sick, and there's no lack of people who need help. And so just that alone has helped us to branch out in ways that we find people don't have that availability, maybe from their medical professionals, getting what it is that they need to get healthy and strong. So we've opened multiple different businesses to help people to realize how to get healthier and live a life of longevity and a joyful life, because they're not living in pain and from a state of illness or sickness, or lacking good health. So that's our driver. Our driver is serving people well, and we have a really good vehicle in healthcare to be able to do that.
Yeah, that's what being an entrepreneur is all about. Is about helping people and teaching people. So that's awesome. And so how old were you when you started your practice?
I want to say, let's see, I think I was 28. Yeah, I was 28 years old. Started chiropractic
Oh.
school at 24 after college, and then finished at 28 and went right into opening our first practice.
A lot of things about starting a business is having a mentor, somebody to look up to. Did you have anybody that inspired you?
Yeah, well, the first one was my uncle. Watching him build his business, building relationships in the community. When I got into practice, one of the first things that we did is we realized our city was really kind of behind the times. The city manager of our city never hedged the gas prices, and the gas prices, when they increased, we didn't have a contract in our city to keep the gas prices low, and they went up astronomically. And that was a sign for us that we need to get involved with the city. So We actually fought an organization that was created to dissolve the city charter, and then we convinced the city to run the fall festival because we needed to give people a reason to want to keep the city charter and grow our city. And I learned those things from my uncle. He was the first one to show me what it meant to be involved in your community, what it meant to have a name in a community, like to be a trustworthy face, to be connected with other leaders and other people in business in the city. So I would say first and foremost, he was a very big influence on me. And then as we continue to go through our years, we would hire coaches. No man is an island, and we can't do everything on our own. We don't have all the answers. So it's wonderful. What I love about what you're doing, Z, is you're bringing people who are entrepreneurs who have built businesses and found success in that to other people who are probably learning how to improve theirs. And these are the kinds of things that I look for. I've paid coaches to bring me to a better place of understanding the things that I don't know. And so if we don't come together and lean into others who have, kind of stand on the shoulders of giants, when we don't lean into other people who have gone in the direction that we're looking to go and who have already suffered the hits over the head, right? Losing money and doing business the wrong way, and, not conducting yourself in, maybe an emotionally mature way. When you learn the psychology of business and of people, and when you learn how to run business, and when you learn how to run your money, and filter all of those things through your core values, that doesn't come naturally to us as human beings. It has to be taught. So yeah, I've had several mentors over the years, and as I mature and I go to different stages in my life, I look to other people for the things that I'm missing. So super really great question, because it is super important to look and seek out the right people to give you guidance when you need it.
Yeah, and I love how you're really active with the community. That's very important. So something that's been on my mind a lot, like when I'm just around and I have time to think, I love money and I love like starting businesses and thinking about businesses. And one thing I'm always thinking about is if I had to restart with $1,000, what would I do with it? Would I go like buy a house? Would I go? Well, you can't, but would you start a business? So what would you do with $1,000?
Gosh, I never thought about that. So, gosh, there was a time in my life that I was straight up chiropractor. Like, if you asked me who I am, I would say I am a chiropractor. And I think in the years past, I would have said I would grab my adjusting table and I would go to the beach or go to the park, and, I would just start charging people for chiropractic adjustments because I know I can sell chiropractic. I'm passionate about it. I know how it helps people, and I know how to speak with people about, to give it value to people so they'll pay for it. These days, I would say I've really learned my true value and my worth, and that's where you have to come from. Is where can I value other people that people would want to pay for that? And I would say first and foremost, I would be sure to hang out in the circles of people that are doing the things that I want to do, that are in the businesses that I know I can give value to. So, I believe in a heartbeat, I can find a place that I could get for free to take up space to run a business. I could do chiropractic, and I can coach people. One of the things that my husband and I love to do is coach people who want to do better, be greater at the things that they're working on, whether it's your family or your business or finances or understanding how to balance your life. So you find the people that need the things that you're great at. When you can sell the value of that, then you can build a business anywhere with anyone.
Yeah, and I'm just thinking like chiropractic and being a chiropractor, is it like kind of a niche because it's not like the biggest job. It's like you have to like focus on being a chiropractor and like cracking bones. So
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of like a niche, which is I
Oh,
like
it's
niches. It's fun.
well, you know what? It's funny. I just walked out of another meeting, and one of the things that we were talking about is the riches are in the niches. Yes, it's a niche, but it's a
Yeah,
kind of a play on words, right? So
yeah,
yeah, and oftentimes we try to be too many people to or too many things for too many people. But where you really can grow yourself is when you can figure out, what am I good at, what do people need, and then figure out who is my avatar, like who are the kind of people that want my product or my service. And then you have to seek those specific people out, and that's the you focus, be single-minded. As you get really good at being great at one thing, to one type of audience, then you can start expanding yourself and growing on it and grow in different directions. But to do one thing at a time and be really great at that one thing and let people recognize you for that one thing, that's how you grow. That's how you grow your audience, right? You focus on one thing. Don't try to spread yourself out too thin.
yeah. That's awesome. And here's the last question. All right. If you had to give one piece of advice for the next generation of entrepreneurs, what would it be? Because this is what my podcast is basically teaching the next generation of entrepreneurs how to be entrepreneurs. So if you had one piece of advice, what would it be?
That I have one really great piece of advice. Um, Focus on you when it comes to growing you. Invest in yourself, but understand that ultimately where people go wrong is that they're doing everything for themselves, right? They're doing it for the almighty dollar, or they're doing it for the recognition or for the accolades. When you can come from a place of authenticity, when you can give for the sake of giving and serve other people and learn how to do that, um, through a great business lens, that's how you grow a business, because people will figure you out. And if you're doing something to be self-serving, that is a total and complete turnoff for others. While you might get them in the very beginning, because when you can create a buzz around you, when you make a big deal about yourself and people start to recognize you, they're only going to follow you for so long if you're only out for yourself. But if you can build a business that you're serving others, and you can show your audience that this is not self-serving, then you'll have people for life.
Yep, that's an awesome piece of advice. And I just want to thank you so much for being on this show. This was an awesome episode. And yeah, just thank you so much for being on here. I learned a lot. It was just an awesome episode.
I just want to say that what you're doing is absolutely unbelievable. And I know that, I don't know how big the audience is yet, but I know you put this out to the right places. You're going to get, because I already know some of the other speakers that you've had on your show, and they're
Yeah.
pretty phenomenal people that have had highly successful multi-entrepreneurial careers. And if you can get people to listen in, there's going to be a lot of growth from the things that you're doing. So accolades to you.
All right. Thank you. And if
You're
you guys
welcome.
want to learn more, my podcast is on YouTube, Spotify, and at thezishow.com. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.